Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 35, chapter 35. Today we're reading Jacob's return to Bethel. Then God said to Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there, and make an altar there to God, who appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau, your brother." And Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you. Purify yourselves, and change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me in the way which I have gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods which were in their hands, and the earnings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree, which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, this is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. And he built an altar there and called the place El Bethel, because there God appeared to him, and he fled from the face of his brother. Now Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried below Bethel under the terebinth tree. So the name of it was called Allon Bachuth. Then God appeared to Jacob again, when he came from Paddan Aram, and blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. Your name shall not be called Jacob any more, but Israel shall be your name." So he called his name Israel. Also, God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall proceed from you, and kings shall come from your body. The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac I give to you, and to your descendants after you I give this land." Then God went up from him in the place where he talked with him. So Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, a pillar of stone, and he poured in a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. And Jacob called it the name of the place where God spoke with him, Bethel. Death of Rachel. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and when there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath, Rachel labored in childbirth, and she had hard labor. Now it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said to her, "Do not fear, you will have this son also." And so it was, as her soul was departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar on her grave, which is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel journeyed and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder. And it happened, when Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and laid with Bilhah his father, concubine, and Israel heard about it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Here's a quick summary and lesson from chapter Genesis 35. Genesis 35 is a chapter of renewal, transition, and loss. God tells Jacob to return to Bethel and build an altar there, fulfilling the vow he made decades earlier when he first fled from Esau. Before going, Jacob has his household put away their foreign gods and idols, likely including the ones Rachel had stolen from Laban, purifying themselves and change their clothes. And he buries these idols under a tree near Shechem. At Bethel, God appears to Jacob again, reaffirming his new name Israel, and renews the covenant promises of land and descendants. As they travel on from Bethel, Rachel goes into difficult labor near Ephrath, Bethlehem, and dies, giving birth to her second son. With her last breath, she names him Benoni, son of my sorrow. But Jacob renames him Benjamin, son of my right hand. Jacob sets up a pillar over her grave. The chapter also notes a troubling incident where Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, sleeps with Bilhah, his father's concubine, a serious violation that Jacob hears about but doesn't immediately address. Through it, has lasting consequences later. The chapter closes by listing Jacob's 12 sons and recording the death of Isaac at 180 years old, buried by both Jacob and Esau together. The lesson: this chapter shows spiritual renewal, putting away idols, returning to the place of the original covenant encounter, intertwined with real unresolved family pain, profound joy, and grief sitting side by side, much like life itself. Rachel's death is genuinely tragic and tender, marking the emotional cost behind the covenant story, while Reuben's betrayal foreshadows deeper fractures within Jacob's family that will surface later. It's a chapter about closing one era, Isaac's death, the 12 sons now complete, while carrying forward both blessing and brokenness into the next. Thank you guys so much for listening. See you tomorrow.